Hello everyone, I am back again. My name is Arindiri and I welcome you all to our YouTube channel. This video is a continuation of our DSA series. In this video, we are going to discuss what is an array. Alright, so this video is the lecture 0. Alright, and in this video, we are going to discuss what is an array, how we can use it. Alright, so let me write down here what is array. What is an array? Alright, so what is an array? Let's assume we have a memory. Let's assume this is our RAM. Alright, and in RAM we can store our data. Alright, let's suppose in RAM we have memory blocks, so many memory blocks. Alright, just I am giving you an example. Let's assume that these all are memory blocks. Alright, memory blocks, and in these memory blocks you can store the data. Alright, so what array does? Array gives you power to manage the data inside the memory. Alright, so you can manage your data, you can store your data in a structured way inside RAM, inside memory. Alright, so array gives you power to manage and store in a structured way. Alright, so what means what do I mean is in structured way? If you are storing any data inside memory, you can store it in anywhere inside RAM. Let's suppose you want to store 0 in memory, you can store it here, you can store it here, you can store it here, and you want to store, let's say, 2 in memory, you can store it here, you can store it here, you can store it here, you can store it anywhere inside memory. But array gives, but you don't have any standard, or I can say you don't have any structure that where your data is storing. Alright, so array gives you power to manage all these things. For example, let's say let me remove these things. Alright, so what array does, if you want to store 0, it will be stored, let's say it is stored here. Now if you want to store 1, it will store just adjacent of this memory location where the first element is stored. Alright, now if you want to store 2, it will store here just adjacent of this memory location. Alright, so array gives you power to store data in a contiguous manner. Alright, for example, let's say I am creating an array. By the way, you can create array like this. You have to specify the data type, and then you can give the name of the array, and you have to write the curly braces, square braces here, and then you can open a curly braces, and here you can store the data. Here you can provide the data. All right, let's say 0, let's say start with any other number, let's say 3, 5, 8, 15, 20, 21, or you can close it. Alright, so in this way you can initialize, you can store, you can create an array. Alright, so each and every data is stored in a contiguous manner. What do you mean by contiguous manner? For example, let's say the first element is stored in the memory location 100, and if this data type is taking 4 bytes, so the next element will be at 104, and this data is also taking 4 bytes, so the next element will be at 108, and this data will be at 112, and this data will be at 120, and this data will be at 116, and this data will be at 120. All right, so in this way all the elements in the array will be stored in a contiguous manner, and if you know the first address, you can calculate the address of any element in that array. All right, so I hope you have understand what is an array, and in this way you can initialize an array. All right, so if you have the data, you can initialize it like this, but you don't have data, then what you can do, you can just specify the data type and then give the name, and then just specify the size of the array, let's say size of 7, and then you can run a for loop or anything else to insert the data. How can you insert? I will show you. Let's write down the code for, let's say you want to store the data in this array, so you can run a for loop from I equals to 0 till 7. All right, and what you can do till 6. All right, because the index is starting from the 0. All right, so what you can do now, array of I equals to data. Let's say you are taking the data from the user's input, so user input, and then you can close this while loop. All right, sorry, for loop. So in this way you can store the data inside the inside the array. All right, and if you want to print the data, again you can run a for loop from I equals to 0 till the size of array. All right, and then you can just print the array of I. All right, so in this way you can print the elements of the array. All right, so I hope you have understand what is an array and why do we use it and why we use it. All right, so in next video we will solve let's solve an example in this video only. Let me write down the question. So we have a question. Let's search an element. Search the element in an array. This is the question. All right, so you have to search the element inside the array. For example, let's say we have an array. How you can initialize? Int array. All right, let's say 6, 8, 15, 50 and 12, 30. All right, so this is the array, and I'm giving you the target. You have to search 12. All right, so you have to return the index of this element. All right, so what is the index? Index always starts from the 0, so the index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer will be 4. All right, so how can you do so? Definitely you will run a for loop. You will run a linear search from I equals to 0 till the array dot size. All right, what will you do? You will check if the array of I is equals to the target. What you will return? You will return I. All right, so in this way you can search any element, and this is also known as linear search. All right, so in this way you can search in an array. This is the linear search approach, and the time complexity will be big O of the time complexity will be big O of n, and the space complexity will be big O of 1. All right, why big O of n? Because in worst case the element can be the last element, so you have to traverse through all the elements. All right, so the worst case time complexity is big O of n, and we are not using an extra space to return the answer, so the space complexity is constant. All right, so I hope you have understand what is an array, why we use it, and how we can initialize it. If you know the data, you can initialize it like this. If you don't know, you just want to initialize the array, you can initialize it like this, and then after this you can store the data in this way. All right, so thank you for watching this video. In next video we will solve some more problems related to array, and yes, we will see so many things like linear search, binary search, and sliding window and all. All right, so thank you for watching this video. We'll meet in the next video.